really.
I'm here at Edgar Street with Pete Beadle. What did you make of the HFA Challenge Cup final today?
Hot.
Yes.
Very hot, very hot. You give credit to both sets of players first and foremost, because to keep going in that heat today was really hard work. I mean, it was hot sat on the bench, so God knows what it was like for them out there. And I think both teams showed what, the difference in the leagues of where they are, but they also showed why they've been successful over the last couple of years. I know Lads Club have been successful over the last couple of years, and they've been extremely organised, and they showed a never say die attitude, which I'm sure Danny will be really pleased about. But again, like I said, unfortunately they come up against a team who we're just streets ahead of everybody at the moment. So and it's nice, and like I said, really difficult for our players as well as theirs. I know they've been talking about they've had a lot of games recently. We've had the same. For me, probably a bit more intensive in the games, but also they've had, knowing that you've won the league and you've got games to play, and they've been magnificent with their attitude in the games. And then they've been away for 4 days, and they come back Saturday and train Saturday, and I was worrying about today, to be fair. We're seeing them Saturday, but they deserve to let their hair down and have a go for it, and which they did. And like I said, because it's a hugely emotionally charged season, at this club, no matter what league you're playing in. So they've let their hair down, and they've thoroughly deserved to win the game today. And like I said, if it had been against anybody else, I think it would have been far more. But I thought the way they kept going and kept going and kept going was brilliant. So like I said, we're just happy to finish on a high, and and try and enjoy some of this sun now.
It's quite a difference to last season's final against Lads Club. When you broke them down right at the end of the game, was it more confidence coming into this to get an early goal?
I don't think it's confidence. I think that, I certainly felt that maybe the first 25 minutes we never really got out of neutral, to be fair. We never really, the lads have probably got 4 days in their system still, though we trained on Saturday. And like we always say, when they put 10 men behind the ball and they put a block in the middle of the pitch and they defend quite deep, it's always hard to break down, and like I said, it was always, for me, it was always going to be a case of when, not if. And it came at a good time for us from a corner, and then we had a spell where we opened up a little bit, got another goal. But then second half, you could see the difference in the quality when everyone starts getting tired. We got tired, but the quality was still there. They got tired. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite there. But like I said, but for their endeavour and their enthusiasm, they've certainly, I think they've enjoyed their day. I'd like to think they would have done.
What do you think is the future of this competition? Do you think it'll go back to more of an invitational final with the HFA's permission?
I don't see why it shouldn't. The format is pretty good. It gives a lot of local teams a chance to come and play at Edgar Street, which is fantastic. We want to be a community-based club. We want to embrace all of the community. We want to try and help out as many of the local teams as we can. Although the higher we go, it's a little bit difficult to keep supplying players for them, because the players are so much, playing at high levels. So it's a little bit difficult for that. But no, we want to, we just talked about it then actually, straight after the game, and said that there's a possibility it could come to a sort of everyone else plays in the competition and then we play the winners as a pre-season or whatever. But we actually enjoy the competition, and and it's nice to have different teams come down, and and I'm sure they thoroughly enjoy their night. Whether they obviously, I know we've had some hefty victories here and stuff like that, but I'm sure every team that's played here has gone away thoroughly enjoying their night here, and as a community club we want to try and embrace all of the community, and if that means we take part in this competition, then we take part in the competition. And for me, it's great because it's 3 games. If we get through the games, it's 3 games. You can always slide one in there if you've got a suspension coming up, so that's always handy to manipulate it that way. But it's like I said, we're part of HFA, and so we should therefore take our place in this competition.
Sports are already looking to next season's, why shouldn't they? Any pointers at all on players re-signing as yet, or is it still too early to know?
Still way too early to know. We've just this minute finished this season. Of course, we have an idea of people we'd like to keep and people we'd like to bring in. But I think the biggest factor in that is going to be the league that we're playing in, and then secondly, obviously, the budget that we have to maybe bring them players in. So there's still a few things to be finalised.
Does that worry you a bit, that there'll be a bit more of a transition if you have to go into the north, with not having to keep so many players?
Well, I'm hoping they'll all want to stay anyway. Again, like we do, we've checked the travel, and at the moment with the teams, if we're placed in the north or the south, there's about 100 miles difference, so it's not a huge amount of difference. I think people see it as, you know, because if we go in the north, we've got these long journeys. But same in the south, we're going to go to Truro, we could go to Eastbourne. You know, we could go all over the place. So either league, I don't think it makes a difference. I think the only problem you have then is maybe midweek games. That would be a real problem because of lads coming from Bristol and Oxford and places like that to get to meeting points. The Saturday games, I don't think I see as a major problem. But this is for the boys to decide. Like I said, it's up to them. It's their future. And obviously they've, again, because we're only part time, we're only their second job. They've got a first primary job first, and that's the one that's most important to them because that's the one that pays the bills, and they got to look to that first. So if it means that they have to move on because of that, then obviously it'd be a real shame. But that's where we are right now.
Thanks for your time.
No problem.
Well done for the season.
Thank you.